breathe life, breathe life. When you don't know what to do it all. Breathe life, breathe life. When you're cold inside and don't know who you are. Looking for love in all the places. And don't know why. Breathe life, breathe life. When you're cold inside and don't have a mom. Breathe life, breathe life. When you're feeling cold and don't know why. Everyone's staring, no one's hearing, no one knows what to do at all. Breathe life, daylight. When you're cold inside and feel like falling down to your doom, you like you have no hope, like you don't have anything at all. Breathe life, daylight. When you're feeling like you don't have a future. Breathe life, breathe life. When you're crawling in the deepest Uber, hoping for something that you can't find, coming along for the ride of your life. Breathe life, breathe life. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Sometimes you feel like alone, like you don't have a friend. Sometimes you know not to do anything at all, and you're alone in your home and you don't know what, and you say, oh no, I'm home alone. Looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for things that you can never know. Breathe life, happy birthday, when you don't know what to do at all. Looking for things that you don't know, looking for something up above. And I know top 5 of the things that I just don't understand. This life goes on and on and on. This world, this thing, this goes on and on, my friend. This thing I know, and sometimes I just don't know. This thing is so humbling, it's bumbling in my stumbling, and it's humbling, dumbling, rumbling. And I just don't know what to do. Breathe life, when you don't know what to do at all. Hoping for something up above. Thinking of something that you don't know. Sometimes you feel like a little baby, sometimes you feel like you just don't know. And the music keeps on bubbling, and the hopes in the cause keeps on doubling, and the feet of the world keeps on crumbling. So what are you gonna do? Sometimes you feel like you lost your way and don't know why. Sometimes you feel like you just don't know what to do. Looking for something that you don't know, for something up above. When hope lies down here all alone. Breathe life, even when the scars come alive. Hoping for something that you don't understand. Hoping for something that you just don't have a hand in. What you do, what you say, what you gonna do, what you gonna find when you're not thinking. Sometimes it's hard, but it's alright if you keep a guitar in your heart, in your soul, somewhere up where you adore. Something in the fight and something in the dark, something in the light will come like a hawk, filming in the midst of the storms and you don't know why. There's a word that I need that I can't find anywhere else, so I go to a place to find this hole, and I just don't know why. I need a walk to sing a little better. I need to keep a beat to keep this sweater. I need to keep a line to another hole. Breathe life, when you don't know what to say at all. Breathe life, breathe life. It's a Daniel Tino, what a song. It's a song that you never knew. It's a little thing that you never know. Rolling in the deep, and I could never ever keep all your pain inside. And I just wanna be your mommy. Never had a night and I never had a storm. Never had a bar but I never had a corn. Never gonna keep this up alive, and I assume and I presume and I got this thing going on. Proletariat, what is that? I can never ever come alive. Do you know that your phone is tapped to the citizen zone and it'll come to your home and it'll never ever get you back? Sometimes you feel like you lost your way and you peel like an orange, like a banana, like a face of a Futurama. And this night, this day, will never ever get away. Your feet, your hole, will never ever come unknown. Your door, your light, will never ever come right. Your bomb, your doom, is out in the other tomb. Your hope, your future, is just around the horizon. Hoping for love in all the wrong places. So bad and so good. Do you want to do this like I could? Like I hope that you know that you never ever have a zone. This night, this day will never keep you away. This night, this hole will never keep you down. This light, this destiny. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. It's a song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. People started singing it, not knowing where to go. And they'll continue singing it forever just because it's a song that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. People started singing it, not knowing where to go. And they'll continue singing it because they don't have a life. What? They don't have a life? That's right. They don't have a life. And for the record, if you don't already know, today is 2017, October 21st, Saturday morning. And this is the Saturday Joey Arnold show. There is no oatmeal. That's right. The mumbling, bumbling Mr. Bean man. The man that likes to bumble and humble so much. Like a humbling drama queen. Sometimes people don't even understand him, like he's some kind of rock concert star with big black eyes around his eyes. Like he's some kind of possum, like he's some kind of Ricky Raccoon. That's right. Sometimes you feel like you lost your way. What you gonna do? Whenever you feel like you're alone, all you gotta do is remember all the other times you felt that way. That's basically the thing I was gonna say the other day when I was thinking about this, like a day or two ago. And I was like, oh man, and I was like, oh yeah, this kind of helps because I was having like a stomach ache, literally like yesterday morning. And so I was gonna talk about this, and so my stomach, my belly, get out of my belly into my body. Get out of my body into my belly. Yeah, but my belly was feeling achy, wakey heart. My achy heart. I was feeling like that, like the father of Miley Cyrus. My achy breaky heart. I was feeling like that. Some kind of weird, old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old country singer with no mommy, no daddy because of my car broke down, my house broke down, everything else broke down. So I was like, hey man, what do I do when I feel bad? And I told myself, I talked to myself, I like to talk to myself because I'm a weirdo, not really, but, and I really do talk to myself, and I think it's a healthy thing to do, but you gotta know. I told myself, hey, remember, a few of my favorite things, like words in the sky, and I don't know why, you just do the thing. Don't ask why, and I simply remember a few of my favorite things. And I was like, well, yeah, just remember not your favorite things, but just remember the pain you had that relates to the way you feel now. You feel bad now, you felt bad before, but remember that. And then remember how you got better. You got better. So you've been sad before, but you know the sadness doesn't go on forever, and you can remember that. And you feel this pain. Feel that pain. You felt like you had it before, and I was telling myself about that, and I was like, hey, okay, focus on this and relate to yourself. Try to have some sympathy and empathy or whatever to yourself, with yourself, for yourself, all those kinds of stuff, all that jazz. Do that, try that a little bit, try that a little bit, try that, some chicken soup for the soul, try that, okay, now you're in control, maybe God's in control, you gotta be like that, like a third wheel, Jesus take the wheel, you gotta be like that, you gotta be the American Next Top Model, you gotta be on top, you gotta be the American Top Chef, you gotta be the number one, maybe not, but regardless of the details, you gotta keep fighting. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta just cry a little bit, and that's the thing that you gotta do. Sometimes you need to be a little bit cold and a little bit sad and a little bit angry, and these emotions are part of the experience, and that's the meaning of life. There's a lot of meaning to life, and I mean, the meaning of life is choice, decisions, basically, and that comes out of the attribute of love. I mean, the meaning of life is love. Life is all about love, and love is all about life, and they're basically the same thing, but they're blossomed out. Don't know about the future. If anyone knows, they don't want to sing there's 'cause it's little jazzy. And I don't want to take you 'cause you don't have fun at all. And if you want to hold me, I will explode like a bomb. Or your mom. So you gotta blossom out like a flower, and you gotta bust it out like you're Austin Power. You gotta say, yeah, baby, yeah. You gotta come out. You gotta come out like a weed. It's gonna come out strong. You gotta let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And you gotta, you gotta get it out. You gotta get it out. And so I was telling myself that. And I don't remember if I ever thought about that before in my life, in my 32 years of life as of today in 2017. But I was thinking about it yesterday morning, specifically in a new way, in a better way. And I'm trying to keep a journal on Steemit, and I've been doing pretty good, and I've done it before many times in my life on different websites. It mostly started on Zynga.com and a little bit on MySpace and Blogspot. And now I'm working on a new one, and I think it's very helpful to do. And so I'm keeping track of that. Ran into the word proletariat today from somebody like, who was it? Cool. And I'm writing about that on my Steemit, and you make money on it, and that's the future. Bitcoin is the future. In Bitcoin is gonna be worth over $10,000 next year, possibly next year, probably more in 2018. Before the end of 2018, it's probably going to be over $10,000. It's around $5,000 or $6,000 right now. A few months ago, Bitcoin was worth almost 1,000. It was like more than 1,000 actually, a little bit more than 1,000, but it was going down for a while. Sometimes money goes down, some things go down, and then it goes back up. And you got to come in, buy low, and sell high, and you can make a lot of money, and it's a lot more reliable than the lottery and gambling and poker and all that other stuff. So that's part of the future, and so I'm doing whatever I can, and I think there's a lot of hope in that. And there's, I mean, obviously, it's not just a guess. I mean, obviously, if you don't know, money has a problem, because money is not money. Money should be money, but it's not money, and you should know what money is. But normal money is going down, and new money is coming, and so you gotta ask yourself: do you want fake money or do you want real money? And the real money is Bitcoin. So I just wanted you to know that. But anyways, I like to sing a little bit. But I like to sing a little bit. So I am looking at this word specifically right now. I want to talk about it a little bit, but I also wanted to talk about the difference between presumption and assumption. So it seems that assumption is something that you kind of assume, but the word A means no, and then assumption is like an idea or a thought or something, like a statement, or it's like the facts before you have them. So it's like you come up with an idea before you know the facts. But the word A means no, so it's like no, like it's like not knowing something, but you're thinking that you know something without knowing it before you know it or something. But then pre means before. So presumption is a little more specific to say that you're doing something, like you're making up your own idea about something before you know about it. And I think that's basically the difference between presumption and assumption. As far as I know, what would I know? I'm just a guy with a little bit of a beard on my face. Always coming back. The beard is always coming back. Cut it off, it comes back. What do I know? I actually know a lot more. But now I'm looking at the word proletariat. I'm not really sure if I'm happy about this word, but I guess it's all about the Roman Empire. And these people were like slaves and servants, and they didn't have private property. And the only possession they had, or the most important possession that they had, was their ability to work. So they didn't really have, land, houses, property, cars. They were like poor people. They were slaves. They just had to work all the time. And that's what a slave is. If you have to work all day, every day, you're a slave. If you don't have the ability to do what you want, live where you want, hire people and buy stuff, all these kinds of freedoms and liberties and choices, all these things, if you don't have it, you are a slave. You are a servant. If you have bars on your window and on your doors and gates, you might be a slave, or you might actually be living in a dangerous place. I mean, if you have money and you make your house and you put bars in your house, I mean, I guess that's okay. But if you have to have bars in your houses, and you have to have a curfew, and you have to come into the house before 11 p.m., before the police and the cops come and say, hey, why are you outside? Go inside. It's 11 p.m. You got to go inside. You might be a slave. And that's a little bit like the Roman Empire, which fell hundreds of years ago. So there's a lot of repetition in history. What do I do? What do I know? What do I do? Man, I'm here. And I feel like a slave a lot. But at the same time, I know that I'm not totally a slave. So it's like I'm a little bit like maybe too self-aware, like Johnny 5. Ooh. Ooh, bumblebee. Bumbling bee, we already home, alright. Oh man, puppy. Queen Bob reads and read to children hilarious tears storming down wet sunny rainbows, supporting unicorn feelings of puppy abortions. What are you talking about? This is a great question. These kinds of things are making me lose my mind. My mom said, you can't win. I say that's too fatal a start. You gotta be a little bit more hopeful than that. Even if you are and you aren't at the same time, you kind of are implying and assuming and presuming a little bit too much negativity, even if it's not. It kind of looks that way on that side. Don't judge a book by its cover, but at the same time, think about the other person. Think about what other people are thinking and stuff, because that's kind of what you want to do. You want to kind of help people get to where you are, but you can't if you don't go to them. Okay, I said it is not about winning. Okay, even though my mom said you can't win, and I said I know that, kind of know that, but at the same time I kind of disagree. At the same time, I kind of feel like maybe you can win, maybe you can't, maybe you can. At the same time, more importantly, it's not about winning because we already won, because God won. You know that good wins, God wins, dogs win, all dogs go to heaven. We are on the east side. Oh man, I got about to bust one. Yeah, that's what I learned in 2006 in South Carolina for Thanksgiving. You gotta buy some Bitcoin. Tell people about the bad people and what they're doing. We win as we talk about what's happening. Ask people questions like, hey, how did they do that? How did they do that? Well, that was weird. They never did that before. Have more conversations with people. Be patient with people and help them transition to the right pills. And it's happening more and more. For example, when you talk about Las Vegas, talk about how there's no guns in Las Vegas, and those kinds of things don't happen because they look at you. Hello.
Hey. Okay. Còn hộp sữa.
Ủa, cô đi. Unlike those monsters in Monster Inc., they only come to life when you're not looking at them like the ghosts in Super Mario Brothers of Nintendo from Japan, interesting place. Vietnam, the weird brother of China and Japan and Korea, and Singapore. Alright, do you want more? Can you imagine something? Can you imagine a younger looking Joey Arnold with a face that's a little bit interesting? A little bit more hands-on, a little bit more interesting. And then I would say that would be interesting. I'd say, hey, what is that? What's going on here? Oh my word, what you doing? What you doing with that? I don't know where you're from. I don't know what they're doing. You blow my mind away. That is a little bit interesting. Right. Found something that's a little bit interesting. I'm a little bit not too sure, not too savvy. Man. What to do with that same attitude? I'll just knock you up to another. Me along and I'll toss you down. Just try not to hang on over. Need a little help from my friend. City waity. Need a little help from my friend. Need a little help for your mother. Can't get along. Need a little help for your friend. One thing you gotta know about singing is that even the best singers in the world will not sing good sometimes, and they will go off tune. They go off the tune. They go off everything, off the tables. They go crazy. Sometimes you have to sing wrong before you can sing right, and I think that people who know how to sing know that, but everybody else don't really know that. You have to basically be a singer to understand that enough. Oh man, I feel like I'm having a spasm. Like my head is spinning. And I'm a little bit exaggerating. Exaggerating a little bit too much. I do that a lot, but just want you to know that I'm feeling a little bit under the table, under the weather, and under the table, over the hill and far away. I'm coming out, so you better get your babies together, your act together. I'm coming out, so you better get this party started. I'm coming out, coming out, so you better get this party started. I'm coming out, get this party started on a Saturday night. Or else my mommy's gonna get mad at me. What? My mommy's gonna get mad at you? Yeah, I think my mom is gonna get mad at me. She always gets mad at me when I'm throwing a party. She said no party in the house. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy stayed home, and the other piggies I ate. They're really good. Wow, you really like to eat piggies like that. You murder, hey. I can't help it. I can't. Whenever I try to become like Hulk Hogan or some kind of wrestler, I start to feel a little bit of pain because I guess I'm just not as young as I used to be. 32 is too old. But I can't help it if the pigs are good. Good looking, cute little piggy, and delicious. Why does that eat you? You know, you shouldn't have made yourself so fat. Oh, am I the one that fed you? I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about your luck. Sorry about your luck there. All right. Okay. Well. Really? Really? Okay. I'm getting a little bit of something. Little bit of something. Okay. Again, my mother says Russia has some kind of cryptocurrency. Of course, it's called. I know it's called. What is it called again? It's not Bitcoin. It's the other one, Ethereum. I think that's what it's called. Ethereum. There's actually, well, I have to say for the record, if anybody's listening about, you want to think about the new money like cryptocurrency, there was Bitcoin, and that is number one, still number one since 2009. There are hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of cryptocurrencies. And it's a competition. It's capitalism. It's a free market to some extent. Maybe not totally free, but there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of stuff going on. But it's good. There are hundreds of cryptocurrencies. There are hundreds of different kinds of cryptocurrencies, and this is the world we live in. We believe in competition and not in monopolism. We don't want too many monopolisms. Monopolies, because life is not monopoly. Of course, life is monopoly. It can be monopoly, like the game of Monopoly, but we want a little bit more competition and stuff. At least that's what I want. I don't know what you want, but I just want, stuff. Oh. Any questions? You guys have any questions? What's happening? So, what am I doing now? I don't know what I'm doing. Exactly. I know a lot of stuff, but let me try to focus. Right now I'm looking on my Facebook for some things. I'm looking at my Facebook, I'm looking on my Facebook, I'm looking around underneath my Facebook. I'm screaming, I'm hollering, I'm whispering, talking with a girl's voice and a guy's voice and all the angels in heaven. Alright. Okie dokie. Alright, what do you want? Alright, I don't look bad. I don't look that bad for a man who never exercises. I haven't really done a lot of exercising in many years. So, I should be like a fat person. I might actually be very, 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 very out of shape right now. Obviously, because I don't take care of myself. I haven't been taking care of myself. Physically speaking, I haven't really been taking care of myself for many years. Obviously, I kinda try to take care of myself a little bit, but there's a lot of things I don't do because I can't. But there are some things I can't do, and I actually do try my best to do everything I can. But I'm just telling you, for the record, there's a lot of things I can't do. That's probably why I look the way I do. And where am I gonna go? Why do Vietnamese love Mr. Bean? It's a good question, huh? Some say I'm Mr. Bean. This post is about awesome Vietnam. You can tell me makes, you tell me what makes Vietnamese. That's right. So I'm just an ugly duckling trying to find his way through the world. I'm a rival turf gangster trying to hop through all the goblins and hoblins and doubling up robins, trying to rob your eggs and lay eggs at the same time. Not sure if that's possible, but I'd say, whatever you're smoking sounds good to me. Give me some of that. And they'll be like, what? Oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. Don't know. Okay, now I'm gonna look at some of my groups. I am in 1,800 groups, exactly. 1,800 groups as of today, 2017, October 21st, Saturday morning, Saigon time. Alright. And for the record, if you care, and if you don't already know, there is competition for Facebook, and Facebook may go down like MySpace. We have minds.com, steemit.com, vid.me, gab.ai, medium.com, and there are others, but I would say those are probably the top ones that have a little bit more freedom, as in open market, as in decentralization. I want the world to be a little bit more decentralized. Anyways, I'm just a dog crawling and howling at the moon. Mostly crawling. Then I get up. Then I try to tell people, hey, what's up? And they say, hey, I don't know, what's up with you? And I say, hey, there's a little bit of, what can I say? I'm too boggled in hair. I'm like a Furby with no hair. That's what I say. Breathe life, when you don't know what to do inside. Looking for what knows it, look for something, this feeling like it tastes like you don't know how to read. And the world and the light of the world keeps crawling down, and your hope and your mind goes out into your bosom, and your force and the Lord crawls into another L. And night and soon comes a and your heart and your mind never ever tells you what you want, and the face and your hope always makes you feel like dope, and you know, and the hope will go on and on, my friend. What are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with all that jazz? I don't really care if you like jazz or not. What I'm trying to say is, when the going gets tough, you gotta make some oatmeal. I don't want to make oatmeal. You don't want to make oatmeal? Why not? Because oatmeal makes me crabby. Crabby? Like a Krabby Burger? Yeah, like a Krabby Burger. Really? Are you sure about that? Yeah, absolutely. When's the last time you had a Krabby Burger? Oh, back when I was in Krabby Land. Krabby Land? What in the world is Krabby Land? What was the place under the sea? Who lives in a... Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Oh, Krabby Labby. Krabby Labby? Yes, Krabby Labby lives under the sea. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Under the sea. Under the sea. Darling is better. Down where is wetter. Take it from me. Out in the shore they work all day. Out in the sun they slay away. Darling is better. Down where is wetter. Take it from me. I'm losing my marble. I'm losing my head. I'm losing everything. That's right. I'm losing it all. I'm losing. Once upon a time, there was a Queen Bobby. Queen Bobby was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sing some songs, and I'm gonna read some books to some children, and I'm gonna say, hey guys, I'm a woman." And the little kids are like, "You're not a woman." And the man's like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a woman." And then Facebook says, "Delete that video. How dare you make fun of drag queens?" Why is this on Facebook? Please get this off Facebook. Oh, Mr. Paul Mullet. Maybe I should get a mullet. Maybe I should get a mullet. Mr. Mullet. I need to get a mullet. That's right. I'm reading a comment if you don't know. I get some comments on my Facebook video. Then I try to act all crazy and stuff. I'm looking at what I wrote on steamit.com. I was writing about the drag queen that Michelle Michael Obama invited to go read I mean, what am I saying? What am I saying? Sometimes I lose my mind. Not really. Trying to tell you, I'm losing my mind because some of the things that are happening in the world, it just boggles my mind. I mostly get upset when people don't talk about what's happening in the world, and I feel like I'm the only one that's looking around. That's right. That's right. Okay. So, you should think about what happened in Las Vegas. You may not really know that guns are not allowed in Las Vegas. So whatever happened on the 1st of October 2017 is really interesting to say the least, because when I first heard about it on Twitter, people were saying on Twitter as it was happening, "Oh no, there's a bunch of people running around with a bunch of guns." That's the first thing I heard about, and then they started deleting the videos off the internet, off Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Periscope and many places, thousands and thousands of videos as it was happening around 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, PST. On the 1st, it was a Sunday night, the 1st of October. You gotta think about what's happening. If you don't already know, I tell you. There was a woman named Kim, and now she's dead. She wanted to talk about what really happened in Las Vegas, and then a few days after the shooting, after all the killing, she died because people came and killed her, something happened. But anyways, she was trying to gather the victims, the survivors of Las Vegas, and she's dead. I would encourage you to look at all of that and look up Laura Loomer if you don't already know. And why should you care? I know a lot of people don't see the relevance of anything, and it's a little bit unfortunate. And I would say the relevance is that whatever happens in one place can happen in another place, or something like that. There's a lot of wisdom you can get. There's a lot of application that is beneficial. And when you are too selfish and unwilling to learn from other people, you are unwilling to learn from other people. That's basically the purpose behind books. And now I'm going to try to respond to another Facebook comment. This one from James Jolokia. Yes, from Vietnamese great group on Facebook. Yes, I think that I've talked to him a little bit. Talked to, as in wrote comments to. And he wrote, "You don't have to act crazy." People say that to me a little bit too much. And I say, hey, for the record, this is for him if he's still listening. I don't really know if Mr. James Jolokia is still listening, or for anybody else. For the record, number one, I do what I want. Number two, I do what I want. It's like Fight Club. I do what I want. But everything I do for a reason. And as far as acting goes or not acting, first of all, it's you got to think about the meaning of acting, the definition of acting. It's who is acting, who is not acting. Think about William Shakespeare. That guy, that writer from over, 400 or 500 years ago. That guy who's, writing stuff like Romeo and Juliet. He said the world is a stage. And the best way to tell people to pass on ideas is through stories. Now, he didn't say that, or I don't know if he said that or not, but I would say what I'm trying to say is this is what I believe. I believe that a long time ago, far away in a galaxy, far, far away, you have all these people, and they're doing all these things in some kind of space drama, soap opera thing. And the point of those stories, the stories of Star Wars, is relatable to our lives. And a lot of times I kind of put myself into my own kind of story. So in a way, I might be acting a little bit too much. But at the same time, it's not always acting, even if it looks like acting. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. A little bit more complex than that. But a lot of times people are too simple. They're very simple, and they're not able to look at the bigger picture, and they take things out of context, and that's too bad. But sometimes I might take advantage of the opportunity in order to drive home a point. Or sometimes I'm not able to really do that effectively, efficiently enough, or whatever. But that's too bad too. but at the same time, I would say, if anybody's listening, I don't really know, but I would say that the biggest problem I've had in my life is being too distracted, because I'm always like a little bit too scattered brain. Just like, because I'm like that little boy at the candy shop, and I'm like, oh, I want this candy, oh no, I want that candy, oh no, wait, hold on, I want that toy. I'm at a toy store. Yeah, that's a better analogy. I'm at a toy store. I want this, no, I want that, no, mommy, no, daddy, I want this thing, no, that thing, no, that thing. So I'm always like going down rabbit trails and stuff. Like inside my brain, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, things that I want to say all at the same time, and it comes out all at the same time. So people look at me and they're like, why are you hopping around in your train of thought, talking about this thing and then talking about that thing and then jumping around and jumping back and forth, and without telling people, and you're alone and you're home, you don't know what you gotta do. I would say, I don't know. Okay. I'm a little bit like Roger Stone when he's talking to people, and it takes an hour to answer a question. Maybe not that long, but it kind of felt like he was taking too much time. But then I end up doing the same thing. I respond to a question or to something that somebody says. I probably should stop. There's probably a lot of things that I'm probably going to do differently in the future. Of course, yeah. Wow, really? Yeah, really. No way, you're gonna do things differently in the future? Yeah, I guess so. Wow, no way, Einstein. Are you being sarcastic? Yeah, a little bit. Oh, okay. You have to be sarcastic like that? Yeah. Think you're the only one that matters? Yeah. No, what? What talks are you talking about? People always want to know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I haven't really branded myself exactly how I want to do. And I've never really I never really decided, what kind of audience am I going for? What kind of people am I talking to? Who are my friends? Who's my group? Who's my posse? Who's my, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I'm always like going back and forth between the kind of people that I want to be with, or the kind of people that I want to talk to. And I think that's part of the reason why I act a little bit too crazy, or I look a little bit too crazy most of the time, because I haven't really decided what kind of person I wanted to be, even though I kind of already know what kind of person I want to be. But I feel like a lot of times people come and go in my life so many times. I feel like it doesn't really matter what I do, because people are going to leave anyways. I mean, because that's one of the things that's happened since I was a little boy. I would always see people, and they would come and go. And obviously, you can probably relate. I'm not the only one with those issues, those kinds of situations. Yeah, it happens to a lot of people. So I'm just saying, that's what I've encountered in my life. And I think that the point of that is the ability to understand other people with the same situation. I think that's the thing that people can take home with them, and remember that everything works together for good. I mean, basically, I don't really want to say that all the time, even though it's true, but I feel like I don't want to be a fatalist. So I don't really want to encourage other people to be a fatalist. I don't want people to believe that only what is in the stars are going to happen. And a lot of times people feel like they cannot change the future. They cannot interfere with what's going to happen. Like whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. That's the fate instead of a destiny. A lot of people believe in that. Even if they say they don't, they do. Even I kind of do too. A little bit too much, a little bit too often. And I think one of the purposes of my life is to try to give some people a little bit of some hope over dope, some joy over circumstances, optimism, the ability to believe that there is a way to get out of the ghetto. You can get the man out of the ghetto, but can you get the ghetto out of the man? That's a good question, but I feel pretty distracted a lot of times, and I feel a little bit overwhelmed a lot of times, and I feel like I just don't have a lot of time, especially now in the specific situations that I have since the end of 2015, when everything went down and my life went down a different path, and then I made the wrong decisions to hang out with the wrong people. Even though I shouldn't really try to condemn people a little bit too much, or not, maybe I should, but sometimes it's better to forgive and to give people a little bit more than they deserve, kind of thing, like a little bit more grace and mercy, those kinds of things, agape, those kinds of things. I feel like, because when you're trying to work with people and you're trying to make the world a better place, you gotta give people a little bit more than they deserve, or maybe not a little bit. I'm a little bit confused about that, but I feel like for the most part that is. If you don't already know, for the record, I'm just trying to talk about what I think I should do in my life and what you should do in your life. I think that some people are a little bit too loving and some people are a little bit too mean. I think that if you're too loving, you need to be a little bit more mean, and if you're too mean, you need to be a little bit more loving. Basically, you kind of need a balance, because that's what life is all about. Ultimately, it's your choice. It's whatever you want to do. Basically, I mean, that's the opportunity that you have for existing, and you don't deserve to exist because you didn't earn your right to exist in the first place. But somehow you came up. You came out of your mommy. I think you probably did. Most people are born from their mommy, and they come from their mommy, and so on and so forth, all the way back to the beginning. If there is a beginning, there probably was, which would be, like something like Adam and Eve or something, from like creation or evolution or something. But regardless of what you may believe, I would tell you, I would say that it's better to be a little bit patient with people and to help people get to where you are. And if you don't already know that, I tell you, you need to know that. And if you know that, I tell you to keep stuff on your wall. If you have a wall, if you have a room, you should keep stuff on your wall, you should keep a to-do list and some priorities. I used to do that when I was living in Portland, Oregon. I had stuff on the wall. I would just put stuff on the wall, and it was very, very interesting, and it's very, very productive. I'm mostly a visual kind of person, and I learned a lot from doing. And that's usually what I've done in my life. I do and I learn, and some people are a little bit different, but that's okay. I mean, that's the thing that you got to remember in the world of education. And the fundamental thing about learning for everybody is the journey, the path, the adventure to the knowledge, the information, the wisdom, whatever. Like, it's very important that you take the time to help students get there. I mean, obviously, that's what it's all about. That's how the cookie crumbles. But a lot of times, we try to force feed everything into other people, into students, into our kids, into other people, younger people especially, and we try to just tell them, this is what you need to believe. Don't ask any questions. Don't look around. Don't be curious. Don't try to use a little bit of some like logic, whatever, or whatever it is, and you know, because I don't care or I don't know or whatever, and that hurts people so much. When people are young, they ask a lot of questions, and then the older people say stop asking, and then they grow up and they get older, and people stop asking questions, and they stop being so artistic and stop like a lot of kids will start first grade or kindergarten like an artist and like to draw and stuff. A lot of people like to draw naturally. I mean, people like to kind of draw, even if they're not good at it, they just kind of like to draw. But then a lot of the kids grow out of it, mostly because they're discouraged or they're not encouraged to be artistic in, like, you know, in art and drawing and singing and writing and maybe some other things too. But I thought I saw a pussycat, said Tweety the bird, and the Looney Tunes. Okay. What is going on? All right. David Koo said, Vietnam would be awesome if you just got out of the country. And some people kind of say that. I don't really know if he means it or not, but I know that some people do. I know that. So for the record, I still got people saying stuff like that. So I say, okay. I would say thank you. Okay. Thank you. I will. I will try to press a button. I'm gonna press a button here. For the record. There's my video, and it's on VIA, Vietnam is Awesome Facebook group. I got David Koo. This is an example of what people say sometimes, regardless of what they mean, what they really mean or don't mean or whatever. David Koo wrote, Vietnam would be awesome, would be really awesome if you leave the country permanently and never come back, case closed. All right. And I said, okay, thanks. All right. Maybe I should go back to the USA, the best country in the world. In so many ways, or it was. So, and we'll go back to my ugly, lovely, beautiful, ugly face. All right. Yeah. So that's for the record. I like to keep a little bit of a diary, a journal, and I've been doing that for so many years. I was born in 1985 in Oregon, and I was homeschooled, and I was involved with Word of Life and the Salvation Army and the Community Baptist Church. Who is David Cool? He must be a Vietnamese that came to America many years ago. That's what I'm guessing. That could be him. Well, it doesn't really matter where I am. Even if I do leave Vietnam, I'm still going to be online. I'm still going to be on the internet. So, a lot of people don't know me in person. So even if you say something like, oh, you should not be in Vietnam or this country or that country, that doesn't directly affect you in regard to real life stuff that you see in real life, because a lot of people don't see me in real life. I know. Some people do sometimes. And some people will say, oh, I saw you here, I saw you there. Those are some of the exceptions. But for the most part, it doesn't really happen. It doesn't really happen a lot. Therefore, it's not relevant. It's not relevant. It's not directly relevant. When people say it, get out. People say it. Some people say it honestly, truthfully. They believe it. Some people kind of believe it. Some people don't really believe it. It's some kind of joke. And I know there's different kinds of people saying different things for different reasons. Don't really know. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's very complex. A lot of people don't care that life is complex, and they try to say, well, it's simple, but it's not, but it is, but it's not. And obviously it's simple in a more general aspect of life. I'm really interested in stories. Like I always say, I love stories. I love telling stories. I want to be an old Indian guy, the chief of the tribe. I just want to be the king, the leader of a tribe, my own tribe. I don't know if I believe in tribalism. I mean, I basically like some of that in nationalism, patriotism, mostly patriotism and volunteerism. Some of those things, capitalism, the good kind of, real kind of capitalism. But let me say something about telling stories. You know, telling stories is great, and I like to hear different versions of a story, like the Little Red Riding Hood. I made a video. Actually, my older sister made a video about it, about Little Red Riding Hood. And my younger sister was Little Red Riding Hood, and in our version of the story of the Little Red Riding Hood, it starts out with Crystal Red Riding Hood. The little girl is in her house, the trailer house, the ghetto house. In this version, see, Crystal Red Riding Hood is in the trailer park home. She lives in a trailer, and her mommy says to Little Red Riding Hood, "Go to your grandmother. Grandmother's sick. Here's a basket of some goodies or something to help her because your grandmother is sick. Go." And so Little Red Riding Hood goes out of the trailer house, and she starts to go to her grandmother, and then the big bad wolf comes, and that's played by me. You know, I was 10 years old, and I said, go follow the what was it? The flowers, the roses. Go follow the roses, and you'll get there faster. And so she goes, and then the big bad wolf goes to the grandmother ahead of her and grabs the grandmother and locks her in a shed, and kind of like a jail. And so grandmother is locked up, and then the wolf goes back to the grandmother's house and pretends to be grandmother, and he's watching TV, and he's like, "Oh man, does this thing have cable?" And then Little Red Riding Hood knocks on the door, and he says, "Come in." Little Red Riding Hood says, "What big eyes you have, what big ears you have, what big nose you have. Oh, the better to smell you with. Ooh, you smell terrible." Not just the ears, not just the eyes, but also the nose. Don't forget the nose, and then the mouth. Oh, the better to eat you up with. And then so big bad wolf goes and tries to eat the Little Red Riding Hood, but then the grandmother comes out of nowhere and saves the day and starts kicking his ass, starts kicking the wolf, and the wolf is down to the ground. And then the grandmother is actually all better too. So somehow the grandmother gets out of the jail, out of the prison, out of the shed or whatever, out of the building that she's locked up in. She gets out, and she's not sick anymore. She's better. She's a grandmother. She must be old, but how does she do that? But somehow she gets out. She gets better, and she starts to beat up the wolf, beat up the dragon, the baby Joey monster, Oatmeal monster, original Oatmeal, and she takes her granddaughter home, back to the daughter's home. They run off into the sunset, and they live happily ever after. And that was the end of the little video that we made, the little movie we made on the 2nd of February 1996. And I tell you that to say that I think that giving people the opportunity to write, to do a little bit of drama, make a movie or whatever, and to express themselves is a very fundamental thing to have. I think just the exercise of that you know, is very important to have and to do, because it helps organize your thoughts and helps you understand what you care about and helps you learn what you're doing, what you're sharing, what you're teaching, all those kinds of things. When you're able to do that, and when you have to do that, or when you know, not just like have to, but when you really want to express yourself in some kind of artistic or musical way, and telling stories is very good for everybody, and for you as the storyteller too at the same time. And I'm really interested in different versions of stories, including Little Red Riding Hood. I had my version, or I mean, we had our own version, and I told you about it a second ago. We make a video about the Little Red Riding Hood, and other people have their own version. Like in Vietnam, they might have a version that might be a little bit different than America or something. Let me try to remember. Where did the Little Red Riding Hood came from? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? Let me say, where did it come from? I believe it came from Europe, hundreds of years ago, probably. But anyways, there's also Cinderella. Cinderella has like another version or a couple different versions, and the one you see in Disney is more flowery, sugar-coated. Disney sugarcoat stuff, and that's okay and a little bit terrible at the same time. Some people don't really like it when they turn a book into a movie, but they're different mediums, and sometimes you need to do that. But at the same time, I understand your concern, their concerns, when you adapt a book into a movie. But at the same time, you know, obviously, you know, if you want something, sometimes you gotta do it yourself. So if you're a little bit unhappy about something, like, oh, you think the movie is terrible, then how about you do a better job? But you know, that's probably not gonna happen. So people can complain all they want. People can complain a lot faster than they can provide solutions. I think the world would be a lot better if we took the time to try to provide some more solutions to the world. And I think that a lot of times I'm not really providing solutions. I mean, I kind of am, or I kind of think I am, or I'm kind of like warming up to it or something. A lot of times. And I would say that's probably the biggest mistake that I have. The biggest bad thing that I do is I don't spend enough time trying to help people see, okay, this is what you should do. Well, I mean, I probably would argue with myself about that too, because I mean, a lot of times I feel like I am providing solutions, but at the same time, I do talk about problems without talking about the solutions, and I probably do that too much, but I would say at the same time, I actually do talk about solutions more than I talk about problems. But the perception is that I actually do talk about the problems more than I talk about the solutions to those problems. People have the wrong perception, but at the same time, that's kind of how people are. Stop it, says Benoit. Stop it, just stop it. Then Michael Jordan says, stop it. I'm going to the airport now. Appreciate the advice. Said Henry Edward. Right. So anyway, so I'm just going to tell myself what I need to know. So in this weekly update, I got a lot of problems. I don't know. I really don't know exactly how often I talk about problems as opposed to talking about solutions and answers and ways to actually make things better. But at the same time, I would argue that both of those things are necessary. I mean, it may be better to have a higher ratio of solutions than problems. It's better to mostly talk about solutions, but at the same time, it is necessary and beneficial to talk about the problems. Because if you don't talk about the problems, then you can't talk about the solutions. If you don't know that there are problems, then you're not going to really care about the solutions if you don't care about the problems in the first place. I understand that a lot of times people already know about the problem, and so in those specific cases, you don't need to tell people what they already know, and that's true. But at the same time, especially like on the internet, you have a lot of mixed audiences, and that's another reason why I don't really try to focus too much on one kind of audience, one kind of group of people, because I know that there are all kinds of people, and I'm a little bit crazy in a way, because I really want to just like try to help everybody and try to help even though that may not actually be possible to the extent that I really want it to be. But I really think that a lot of people don't really know what the problems are, and they don't really care. I mean, they kind of know in a very fake way what the problems are, but I would say that a lot of the bigger problems are caused by personal problems that people have. Personal problems affect the bigger problems. A lot of times people feel like they cannot affect the bigger problems, but they can affect the smaller problems, and that's kind of what it's all about. That's how revolution occurs. It starts with yourself. You know, Michael Jackson talks about it in his song "Mirror, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who's the greatest of them all?" Well, actually, that's not exactly what he said, but you know, you got to start to change with yourself, something like that. Then it went all quiet, completely quiet. I'm totally quiet. Whenever I see somebody come by, I zip the lip. Right, well. Are you ever allowed to access the internet? That's a good question. Are you even allowed? Are you old enough, says Ben? Are you allowed? Is your mommy and daddy going to allow you to go on the internet because you're just a little boy? Oh, man, you messing around. Why you messing around on the internet? What you doing on the internet, you crazy white little baby? What you doing on the internet? I just wanna have some fun. Like a girl, girls just wanna have fun. Well, boys wanna have fun too. Is that okay? I don't think that's okay. I think you should just kill yourself. What? Are you saying that I should kill myself? I know I would kill myself. I look like you. Are you sure? Are you? Yes, I'm pretty sure about that. Pretty sure about that. Ooh. What is this? It's a baby crying on the ground. I'm a little baby. David Koo is calling me a little baby crying in the leaves. On the break of dawn, on the break of the fall autumn season. Just in time for Halloween. Who do you want to be for Halloween? I want to be Joey Arnold. I want to be a real Oatmeal. Really? Yeah, I think that would be pretty scary. Or timid. A little bit timid. A little bit mild, maybe not too scary, maybe not too shabby. My father was Harry Potter. My mother was Austin Power. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Alright. Yo, I'm Tom and Jerry. I'm a little blurry. I had a mommy, never had a daddy. I was just a little wobbly, a little wobbly. Think that I think that I really want to dude, take off your sweat. I want to see those nipples, dog. Said Mr. Binway. Yo, dog, I want to see your nipples. I want to see your nips very hard. Or you just like Conan O'Brien, you do the nipple thing? You want to do the nipple thing? Hey, dog, I don't think I roll that way. I don't think I want to roll that way. Hey, dog, I want to see your nipples. Show me those shiny, nipply nipples. Now, I don't think I want to do that. Oh, but dog, you know you want to do that. Oh, but hey, Jerry, I don't roll that way. Oh, but I want to see your dog nipple, man. What you calling me a dog? Yeah, no, I'm not calling you a dog. I'm just gonna see your dog nipple. I can't have dog nipples if I'm not a dog. Yeah, man, but show me your dog nipples. I don't have any dog nipples. Go mind your business over there. You just wackily wibbling, wompling a womple monster in the Womple Sea, in the Womple planet with the Star Wars people, Harrison Ford and Leia. Yo, trying to pop my shoes, trying to pop the zizzle, pop my nizzle. Yo, I'm gonna offer you an offer you cannot refuse. What do you think you are? Some kind of like, you think it's some kind of godfather? I'm your godfather. I'm always gonna be your godfather. What's wrong with him? Said Wong. What's wrong with you? Yeah, what's wrong with you? I'm gonna offer you an offer you could never unoffer. Why would you do that? Because I really just want to be your friend. So I'm gonna give you an art of the deal. A deal that you're never gonna be able to take off the table. How about you take it off the table? How about you do it under the table? Oh, brother, I don't think I can do that. Just show me your dog nipples. But I don't have dog nipples, you dimwit. I never do that. I'm never gonna come back. Never gonna come back. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Never gonna come back. What does that mean? Where you going, man? I don't know, but last time I thought about it, I was like, I was so far away. I was like, with Frodo. You were with Frodo, man. You were hanging out with Frodo? Yes, I was hanging out with Frodo. I was like, hey, Frodo, can I go with you and that white wizard? And he was like, yeah. You want to go drop this ring in the ocean? I mean, in the volcano? I always get confused between Titanic and Lord of the Rings. What are you talking about, man? I just want to see your nipples. Shut up, Larry. Don't have time for this, Larry the Cucumber. I'm trying to tell you a story. I'm an old mafia man. Really? You're an old mafia man with nipples? I don't have any nipples. I don't have any nipples. You don't have any nipples? Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have any nipples. Can you just give me your nipples? Jerry, I just want your nipples. You want my what? You want your nipples, man. Why would you want my nipples? Your nipples are so crunchy and delicious and crunchy. Jed, Tommy, Billy, whatever your name is. What's wrong with you? I just want to see your nipples. Really? You want to see nipples? Who do you think I am? Some kind of cross-dresser? Taking off my jacket. All right, I just want to see your nipples. You want to see my what? I just want to see your nipples. I'm still disappointed with my operating system. So, for the record, for the record, right? Well, look at that. It's the map of the world. So, wow. Okay. So, for the record, I'm still a little crappy for the crappy burgers. Don't have any crappy burgers. I don't live under the sea. I'm not a mafia man. I got normal nipples. I don't need to talk about that. But I would say I'm still disappointed with my Ubuntu Mate operating system. Still disappointed with my Lenovo Yoga laptop. I've been disappointed for a long time. I'm always disappointed. Usually what happens is, I get something and then I run into problems, and then I feel like, man, why did I upgrade the operating system? Or why did I download that program, or a video of Gotham, the video of the Rebels, or because I love Batman and Gotham. I love Star Wars. And I like to download movies and videos, and sometimes you download the wrong file, or obviously you run into the ones that might be like viruses, and then you have to restart your computer or whatever and delete it, and then you be like, oh man, what did I just get myself into? But I guess that's the world we live in. But I would say that if you have a lot of computers, it's not really gonna slow you down. If you have like an office, if you have a house, and you run into a problem on your computer, you can reboot it, you can probably fix it, and then you can just like go onto the other computer while you're doing that, and really stop you too much, because you're able to, go to another computer. But if you only have one computer, then you can't really do that. I guess you could do that a little bit. Like for me, I can do a little bit more now with a smartphone. Smartphone is my backup computer to some extent, but it's a little bit counterproductive because it's so small. And I think it's pretty crazy how people are on their phone so much, and phone is not as user friendly as a laptop. I think that it would be a lot better if you could just have a normal operating system that you didn't have to update all the time. I mean, obviously, I always felt like that was the reason why I stopped using Windows and went to Ubuntu, was because I thought that Ubuntu wouldn't have as many updates and stuff, problems and stuff like Windows. But then, I've been using Ubuntu operating systems, Linux operating systems, open source operating systems for the past 10 years or more, and mostly the past 10 years. And because I started volunteering at Free Geek Computers in Portland, Oregon, and I started learning about Linux then in 2007, 10 years ago. And so I've been on this new journey of mine for the past 10 years. Before that, it was mostly Microsoft and a little bit of Apple. Like I learned a little bit about Apple computers, and I really, really like Apple. I really liked Apple, not so much now. Apple is really interesting, but I really don't like Bill Gates, and I really don't like Apple. But it's not a personal thing, because personally speaking, I love them. I love their stuff, but it's more about what they're trying to do and what they've been doing as far as like technocracy, corporatism, monopolism. How do I say plutocracy? Those things. That's what I care about. Those are the things I don't like. Those things. I don't like scary stuff. I don't like centralized government. I don't like bigger government. I don't like those kinds of things. Anyways, somebody's asking me. Okay, I got a new Facebook comment. Ooh, that's very rare. From Jorge Peralta. Somebody asked me. People ask me this question a lot. People ask me, "Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a Vietnamese girlfriend?" No way. I don't. Could I? Anybody could. Anybody can have a girlfriend. All kinds of different kinds of people have girlfriends and boyfriends and everything else. So I don't because I don't really try to. I'm not really trying to. I'm actually trying not to have one. I actually try very hard not to do any of that, because I feel that I don't really have the ability to take care of a woman, so I'm not really gonna start something that I cannot finish at the moment. I feel like I can't really finish it because I can barely take care of myself, so I'm really not going to try to get engaged a little bit too much in relationship with other people. And I always felt this way since I was a little boy, especially when I was about 15 years old, and now I'm 32, so I've been thinking about this. Like, I thought about getting married since I was about 8 years old. I was thinking about a girl that I liked, Tiffany Combo, and I talk about her sometimes. And there were some other people too, in my life. Obviously, it's like in high school and college and at camp, and even in Vietnam. You see people sometimes. Of course, especially guys. Guys have this problem a little bit more so. Obviously, the girls do it too, but guys kind of have this problem more, maybe more. I mean, I think for the generally speaking, they have it more, and so obviously I have this problem, and I tend to like everybody, and I think that's one of the things that I have a problem with is I try not to talk to people. I try not to get too emotionally involved because my EQ is maybe really high or really low. I don't know which one it is, but I really do get involved emotionally with the lives of other people. I spend a lot of times studying TV shows and movies, and then I write about it, I talk about it. And I've been making videos since I was 10 years old for over 20 years now. I'm, not all the time, but I keep going back to it, and I keep on trying to work on stuff. And I always wanted to be in Hollywood. Now, not so much after the Weinstein thing. And obviously, it's something that people know about. We always we know about these things. So if you want to know what is your goal in life, my goal in life is to do what I do, everything that I do already, and my goals have been pretty much the same since I was a little boy, since I was about 8 years old. I mean, it's basically the same as it always has been. I've been pretty boggled down by a lot of stuff in life. I feel like I really need to take a break from what I'm doing, but I don't really have the ability to take a break because I gotta take care of myself, and so taking care of myself takes up all the time. Or I could probably become more of a slave in order to take care of myself. Obviously, what I mean specifically is I could work more. I could, change my career paths. Take this job or that job. Do this kind of work or do that kind of work. Another kind of work. And I've done that in my life. If you don't know, I've done that many times in my life. I've kind of had different jobs, and then I stopped, and then I went on and I did other work because I wanted to do other things, or I wanted to try other things, or really wasn't happy with the kind of work I was doing, because I was doing work in the cafeteria, and I was helping with food prep and bakery and things involved with preparing the food and dishwashing, and I did maintenance and landscaping and dishwashing. Did I say dishwashing already? And housekeeping and laundry. Just a couple different things. I mean, it's not very impressive for some people. I just want to say that for the record, to say that I've been around a little bit. I'm obviously not Moses. Let my people go. I'm obviously not an expert at anything, probably, maybe, except for maybe me. I'm an expert on myself, but besides that, not really anything else. Or maybe I am. I'm being a little bit too humble about it. I probably am being a little bit too humble about it, because obviously, if you knew what I knew, knew what I'm capable of, you would probably come over here right now and talk to me in person, but you probably don't. But anyways, that's all right. Not really, but let me just say for the record, I have to think about what kind of life I want to have, and and I gotta think about, where do I want to live? What do I want to do? And obviously everybody has to do that. So for me, where do I want to live? Number one, I would want to live in America. And so in the future I probably would. That would be interesting since I like my country, the USA, and that's where I'm from, and I've been all over my country a little bit, on the West Coast and the East Coast. I've been around Oregon, California, Washington, Idaho. I've been around New York, Pennsylvania. I've been around West Virginia, South Carolina. I've been around some of those places. I went to Quebec. I lived in Hawaii. So I've been around those places, and I really do like all of those places. I really like people, and I want to live everywhere. So number one, I would live in my country, but at the same time, I really do like other countries, but not as much as I like my country. But like, say for example with Vietnam, since I've been here longer than any other country besides America. With Vietnam, what I really like about Vietnam is the creativity of Vietnam. I really like the traditions that they have. I really like the stories they have, like with like where Vietnam came from, for example. It's very interesting where you have the story of like the dragon, or with this, you have like the mother and the father, they come together and they have like 100 babies, and 50 of the babies go to the mountain with like the father or the mother, and the other babies go with the other parent into the ocean. And they were the what do you call it? The ancestors of Vietnam, according to that story of ogre and Lac Wong. How do I say? You know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. You know what I'm just trying to say. I really am fascinated by history and culture and traditions and the Ao Dai. A lot of interesting things with Vietnam, for example, and I could probably talk about other countries too, but I don't have a lot of real life experience with other countries. Therefore, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about that, but I would say you're gonna go to Vietnam next year. I would say the most important thing for people to understand is that their country is important for them, for their family, for their people, and it's their responsibility to take care of their country. And your country is better taken care of by you and your people, as opposed to outside stuff, government, NWO, Rothschild, Soros, bigger stuff, scary stuff, monsters, people you don't know, maybe you don't know, big scary people. Don't let them in, but they come in like the devil, like an angel, and they say a lot of stuff, a lot of nice stuff. They have stuff, like you have the EU and UN and TPP, and NATO and NAFTA NAU, and a lot of other stuff. A lot of stuff. Even maybe ASEANS Asian. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff coming in, introducing the concept of like so-called globalism, and they sell it to people around the world from the left, and whatever is left with the left. And it's unfortunate that people may not realize the danger of the left. It's like The Walking Dead. They're zombies. You're a zombie. You're a zombie with the blue pill. You don't take the red pill, and that's unfortunate. My destiny probably lies mostly in my own country. And I left for a lot of reasons. But something happened after I left, and now I'm changing my mind about what I did, even though what I did was kind of this and that and all sorts of stuff all wrapped up into one thing. I kind of did the wrong thing and the right thing at the right time. I mean, at the same time, when I came to Vietnam in 2012, 5 years ago, I was coming, I was going because I was feeling like I could make a difference and I could do more here or in other countries. And that is true. That is true. In life, you got to think about what is better, not just what is good. You can make a lot of good choices in your life. And you can spend your whole life doing good things, but then you're going to regret not taking a risk and not doing the better thing. And that's what I would say. So I'm going to end the video for now. I don't know if I should or shouldn't. You got a lot of things to think about, as I normally do. And I want to say thank you for watching. I'm Joey Arnold, original Oatmeal. I'm all things to all people, or nothing to nobody. And like Scott Adams says, go home or win bigly or whatever, do whatever you can. And good luck with that. And for the record, it's 2007, October 21st, 21st, the 10th month. 2017, October 21st, Saturday morning. It's 11 a.m. my time, right? I'm at the PC place, whatever that means. I know, you may not know where I am, but I'm still your typical crazy weirdo. Not really, but some people think I am, so that's all right. People think whatever they want, but still scattered brain. I still got a lot of stuff that I want to do. Yeah, so I would say, okay, so with that, I would say that's a possibility. I do think about falling in love with a girl, and then marrying the girl, having a lot of babies, doing those things, taking her back to my country. Maybe a Filipino girl, maybe a Vietnamese girl, maybe a Japanese girl, maybe an African girl. I mean, I like all kinds of people and all kinds of girls and stuff. I thought about that many times, obviously, as a man, as a wannabe Tarzan, and I thought about that many times in my life, and I thought about, whether or not I could do that, and I kind of go back and forth in my brain. And then I end up going nowhere. But ultimately speaking, I would say that anything is possible, so never say never. Never say never. But
in life, you gotta take it one step at a time. One step at a time. I would say take it one step at a time, and don't try to skip the steps. Oh, I got a comment from Wing Van Jung. I don't know what's more pathetic, being humiliated and rejected almost by everyone in every English Vietnamese community for the past year, or the fact that you actually ignore everyone's opinion still, and you're still self-centered, delusional, and a self-proclaimed English teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Put this on the record. I should probably download this video for the record. Still trying to press the button. Okay. Here's the. I wanna just save the conversation that I'm having on VIA. Vietnam is awesome. Facebook group, and like I showed you already. Today, this is 2017, October 21st, and people say that I'm Mr. Bean, and I showed you before earlier about what David Q was saying, and he said you should leave Vietnam. And I said, okay, basically. You have Michael Jordan saying, stop it. And after that, you have Tom and Jerry. Actually, just Jerry the mouse acting like some kind of pimp. Nigga what? Nigga what? And now you have Van Chung saying, I don't know what's more pathetic, being humiliated and rejected by everyone and all this English Vietnamese community groups on Facebook for the past year, or actually more like 5 years, since like 2012, or the fact that you actually ignore everyone's opinions and still stay like self-centered and delusional and a self-proclaimed or self-claimed alleged English teacher, which I actually am, but some people say, no, you're not, whatever, and anyways. Don't make Mr. Bean so ugly. Oh no. Alright. So anyways. Alright, so that's for the record. I like to keep the record. I'm not here trying to be too negative. But people will say that I'm too negative. Even my own mother. I don't know. Mommy, forgive me or not, but I have to say for the record, I know a lot of people say this. They say all of this stuff about me, and it may or may not be true. To some extent, it may be kind of true, a little bit true, but sometimes you have to see the bigger picture in order to understand the picture itself. If you're too close to something, like if you're too close to my face, you can't really see my face. You can't really see what's happening. So you have to stand back and you gotta look at the bigger picture. You gotta not take things out of context. I know that people always look at me and they take me out of context. That's too bad. But people take Donald Trump out of context. They take a lot of things. They were taking Michael Jackson out of context. So we're always doing that, and that's really, really unfortunate and very, very counterproductive. Counterproductive. I'm always trying to say the word. I love that word. I'm gonna go have sex with the word counterproductive. You can't really do that with the words. Words are figurative. Unless if you draw it out and make a little cutout cardboard thing with some word, and then you can make out with it. Other than that, you can't, whatever. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'm gonna go now. I don't know if I should. I don't know. I really don't know what I should do. But I'm gonna end the video, because if I don't, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk to myself a little bit too long. and then I won't be able to do the other things maybe. Okay, so have a great day, take care, good luck, whatever, and have some bananas or not.